A few questions came back around giant voices, which has been really exciting to hear just in our own support chats of some of you. Some of the processing you're doing around understanding your voice. So our next step with that, we're not going to train on this today. We're actually going to move to a 2-week focus. So every second week, this will be more like a voices mastermind for you and any of your team that's growing with us, where we just really flesh out what does your voice look like to be successful in a business like this. We're going to cover and send you a resource on what does that shadow side of your voice look and feel like when you're getting stressed, when you may be nervous, when you may be anxious. So we'll be fleshing that out a little bit. Okay, sorry that you can't unmute. I can't do it for you.
It's okay, we can.
Okay. So anyway, we'll be giving you some more resources on that just to start to look at for yourselves. But today, I really did want to talk, having celebrated now a few people ranked to manager and some really close to it, like we're so excited for Brad and Laura. We wanted to just train out really practically some of those reasons for manager, again, just financially for you to release back those finances out of your back office into your own account. But secondly, we just want to talk about some strategies for you and some of those you're now onboarding to really help simply get people towards manager. So when we talk about getting to manager, I'm going to just screen share what that looks like. It looks like 4 people, minimum 4 people, 2 on your left, 2 on your right. If you just, I'm just going to share this. And it means they need to be on silver and an auto ship. So while I get my sheet out again to just show you what manager means, we wanted to flesh out this auto ship thing because there's not just one person struggling with how do we get people on auto ship. We'd actually love to role play a few of these conversations around why auto ship. If I'm getting 3 months worth on silver, why auto ship? So Andrew, do you just want to give context to what we've been noticing first while I get the sheet out?
Okay, so you're going to work on this on the sheet.
Yeah.
So what we encourage people with when it comes to silver, and here's something else we're looking to do some marketing around, is creating a promise. Now, when I say that, creating an offering. So I need to get the exact statistic. From memory, it's below 1%, but I could be wrong. That within 90 days, 3 months, 99% of the people that try the patches get a result. So we're going to lead in this next season with like the 90-day challenge to say to people, hey, in 90 days, if you get 1 result, would this be worth it? As we're just connecting with people around the patches, so that people are looking at this opportunity with, okay, I'm in pain, I've got this going on, I've got that going on. Okay, 90 days, 99% of people get a result, whatever the statistic is, which we'll qualify. So that we encourage people to go, okay, 90 days. So then within that 90 days, minimum silver, because you need 90 days. So we want them to be minimum silver. And with that, my suggestion is, in the way that we have led, is because on auto ship is the magic behind this whole company and business, is that if it's a single person, now if it's 2 people, then gold, naturally, because it's what we call the family pack. If you have more than 1 person, you need gold because you've got you, your spouse, your partner, and you've probably got kids, other people. So, but with the silver is to go 2x39s. So you've got 2 months worth, and then 2 of the supporting patches. Because I'll ask them, where are the issues? Do you need energy? Almost everyone goes, yes. Okay, you need energy. Then you want to sleep better at night, your nervous system, blah, blah, blah. Eon, 100%. You have pain, Lifewave. They're the 3 that I will just keep it simple. Energy, pain, and nervous system. Stress, sleeping, blah, blah. So I'll say, why don't you do 2x39s and 2 of those in your initial? Then we'll keep you on maybe for the next month, either an X39 from there, or just 1 Eon or 1 pain patch. Now, once they know, which that is only, I think, $45 US, because they can only in silver, they can only match up to the 100. So in gold, they'll need to do an X39 at a minimum, but at a silver, they only need to have one product. Then all they're paying is $45 a month.
What is actually
For
59?
59, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
59 a month. So therefore, what I would say is then you could decide within the first month, if you're loving the Aeon, if you're loving whichever one they choose, you might want to double up on that. Once people have experienced it and experienced what it does, many people, they're going to want to continue with that. So it bridges the gap from the whole, I don't want to go into auto ship. Well, it's a 90-day challenge. And I personally and Vanessa, we've decided we're not going to go down this route unless it's somebody like the guy from London that was it's a bigger opportunity for us that we sold him one sleeve. That if you're not going to do the 90-day challenge, then honestly, it's almost not worth it for us because we know 90 days it takes to get your result. Do you want a result? Commit to 90 days. So it then bridges the challenge of the auto ship if you package it like that, because it makes sense to people. Okay, then I'm going to need that next month and then a month after. And then, of course, I'm going to need within 2 months an X39. If they're people that are nickel and diming on everything, then honestly, do what you want with that. But I wouldn't spend a lot of time with that. But if people who are like, I'm in pain, I want to get a result, 90 days, get them to make a commitment to that. And you're not going to have an issue with the auto ship when you package it like that. Yeah. That's what we've found so far. Is that true?
Yeah. Honestly,
that's
at the auto ship, we've just fire. We've just got someone checking the fire, all the things in the house for the fire alarms. So yeah, we really are there. We'd love to ask for questions around that, some feedback that you're finding, some clarity. Lee, you just asked energy patch, what we talk about there. We will always say X39, but in the conversation, we will say to them, if X39 takes 90 days for you to feel any results, which it might, is there any other need you have currently that one of our supporting patches could help you with? So we are always talking about this. X39 will do all of this, and it could do it very quickly. But we'd like to get either in your initial pack or your auto ship a supporting patch if you have an immediate need that we know one of these patches could help. So that's language we use around it to move through the barrier, not of the silver, but of the auto ship. So questions and clarity, like what are you finding? What's working, not working for you guys?
This was a issue for me early on where I onboarded maybe 4 silvers straight away, but they all turned off their auto ship because I didn't have the language or like the strategy and how to keep them on auto ship. They thought I get 3 sleeves, I'm going to try for 90 days, so I'm good. And I did run into that problem early on. I did have a conversation with someone. They're coming in at silver. They're going to order 3 sleeves of the X39. And I'm not saying that this is a good strategy or not. I'm just testing it with this person. And I'm saying, your second month, it's going to come with an auto ship. Your second month, you can place an order for one of the complimentary patches. I recommend the X49 because he's into triathlons and Ironmans for the performance. Or you can put your auto ship on pause. You have full access to your account. You do what you like. For me, I think that me sharing that gives him more trust in me for him to feel comfortable with what works best for him. And it's going to take me staying in touch with him, checking in on him. Hey, how's the patching going? What are you noticing? So that second month, well, hey, I have something that I think will be a great fit for you. Why don't you try this or try that? I'm still trying to figure it out. It's still a little bumpy, so we'll love some more ideas from how everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. What about one other person just to share what's worked for them in that conversation around keeping auto ship on? And then we've got a few thoughts just to map out on it for you. And why it matters early days, guys. Like it's more around the early days for a certain rank. And then you that autonomy comes even more naturally when you're not feeling like this order is got to rank you up, which we don't really want to drive the business that way anyway. But someone else share what's worked around that conversation, please.
Could I just ask a question before? So say someone goes in at silver or gold, and that means they've got, say, gold, 5 months worth of product. Does that auto ship come the very next month, or does it come when they need it? Sort of, when does that arrive, that auto ship?
Yeah, it's a great question. So order, as soon as you go in and order, because I know I'm still coaching you out how to do someone's order, Alison, it's the very first step is going to say their order. The second step is going to give them the option for their auto ship. And you have to go in, set a date, and then you have to choose the patch, and then you have to press save. They're those 3 parts of the process, and we'll send a video again to just show how that works. If you don't do that, then that auto ship is not active. And this is if someone does it, you've got to instruct them to do it. If you're doing it for people, you've got to press save. And then you go on to the next part and it's their address and their number and all the rest of it. So, and their credit card details. So the big key is if auto ship's not on, it's not, to everyone's point, they're going to get patched. They're going to have incredible change. They're going to turn around to you and say, hey, I really have shared now already with someone. I don't want to not get next month's worth, right? That will probably happen the majority of the time, to Angel's point, if you keep in contact with them and have the conversation and have them on an opportunity Zoom, hearing more around the testimonies of what this X39 does. But if they don't press auto ship, it just means for the 4 you need, you won't hit rank straight away, which again is okay, but you just need to know that.
So go on.
But I think the question Alison's asking is the question I asked when, you bring a silver on.
Yeah.
You've got the 3 months, right?
Yeah. Oh, they're frozen.
May, right?
Yeah.
It comes, and they've ordered them in February, and they've got 3 months.
Yeah.
They will then get another one, February, March, April, May. They will get another one in March, won't they?
If they order in Feb, they get another one 30 days later if their auto ships on. But one other key to that is just keep remembering, we're going to say 3 months worth, or we're going to say 3 sleeves worth for you and anyone else you might want to get on auto ship. So what starts to happen is someone unwell is thinking, I just want these for me. They're costing a lot of money. I'm not thinking about sharing. But to Angel's point, it's not just 3 months for them, it's 3 months worth. So pretty quickly, if they're getting a result and we're supporting them well with some follow-up, we're asking them, is there anyone else you think should be on the X39 already? If so, let's share one of your months with them and make sure your auto ship's going to hit you so you don't miss out. So there's just language around months versus sleeves that also help people go, this isn't just me. But when you're not well, you are going to just think you, and that's okay. So that's some of what you can tweak. I'd love Stella to share, just because she's, again, really on a lot of trainings and learning language around this. What's working for you, Stella?
I have been on a lot of trainings, so I can't say that anything's personally working for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not, bringing on people and I'm not making managers right now. So I can't say anything's working right now. But the win I'm celebrating is being on trainings and listening to people who have gone before me that are very, very successful. And that's what I want to learn from. I want to start to apply, and then I want to see, right, the fruit in that. So I hopped on, there's a team called Evolve, and they give really explicit training around this. So a problem that they found, I don't know, a year or two ago, is that people were turning off auto ship, just like Angel said, right? So we bring on someone, they're silver, 3x39s, and then what were people doing? They were turning off auto ship. So basically, they said the solution to that is a conversation, and there's no way around it. So if Cheryl is my brand new person and Cheryl's like, yeah, I'm interested in learning more, I'm going to hop on a call with her and I'm going to get to know Cheryl, and I'm going to learn what is she trying to solve?
Yeah.
And let's say Cheryl has back problems. Okay, that first sleeve is X39. And then I'm going to say, Cheryl, is your husband wanting to do this with you? She says, yes. Okay, awesome. X39, second sleeve. And then what they do is they basically put up it's a one pager that goes through the rest of the complementary patches. And you don't have to memorize any of this. They're all about duplication. It's like, they're like, read each little blurb about the patches. So you go through that. And then let's say Cheryl needs help with sleep. So they recommend Eon. And I believe it would be 4 sleeves, right, guys? Because that equals 1 sleeve of X39. Okay, I just want to make sure I get the
Two
or 2.
sleeves. Two sleeves of Eon equal an X39.
Okay, so it would be 1 X39, another X39, and 2 sleeves of Eon. Okay, so now Cheryl and her husband are taken care of. Cheryl's wearing Eon at night to go to sleep. Now that following month, now she needs X39 again. So she's not going to turn off her auto ship. So anyways, this is how they're duplicating. So it's a conversation. It's saying, let's hop on a call together. I'm going to show you the most cost-effective way to go about this. On that call, you're trying to figure out what do they want to solve, and you're putting together a kit for them.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I might get on with Cheryl, and it's her and her husband, and I learn on that call that Cheryl would love to build a business, and she wants a 3rd sleeve of X39 because she's a sharer. She's going to share with her neighbor. She's going to share with her sister. I'm just making this up. She's going to share. So that 3rd sleeve is X39. So we don't know this information until we're on that 10-minute call with someone going about it that way. So that's what I learned on, again, I've not applied this per se, but it's something that I will try and let you know. I mean, gosh, these guys have thousands of clients. So I imagine, or customers. So this works. They've gone before us and they've tested it.
I love that. We really appreciate that you're saying that same model. There's 2 things you got to keep in mind. If someone in that conversation is actually oriented towards the sharing and the business, you talk to AutoShip about the incredible opportunity AutoShip allows them to start to accumulate of a really healthy organization's volume. They're part of a winning team, volumes growing, and you literally with them before you have this conversation and you just I explain really simply, if this is about a business for you, well, first of all, you're going to want to come in at gold. And the reason why we're going to want you to be on an auto ship is because that gives you access to the volume straight away. So that's a different conversation. And that what Stella is saying is silvers who want to maybe move towards gold before they upgrade for their auto ship to come out, that conversation all becomes around either sharing, better price, or business. But your silvers, which is what this business can rank managers through on, is silvers. It's much more around what Andrew and Stella are saying, which is what pain do you have? Who else will need this? And what's going on for you that we can recommend?
Yeah, and if I can add, it's just the way we look at it is how can I upsell them so that they need to go on auto ship because they're going to run out within a month and a half. So pretty much, what Stella said brilliantly. is if you could do that on the front end,
Yeah.
then you don't have all the hassle on the back end. And that's
Yeah.
just the way I think. I try to hack everything. So, and then for Vanessa
Yeah.
to not be on calls all the time, if we can set this up from the beginning, then someone's not going to turn auto ship off because they want their product the next month.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just remind them, hey, there's nothing worse than going a couple of days without your X39 because you actually feel it, especially in the first 3 months.
Yeah.
So we don't want you to have that experience. That's why it's always good to have at least half a sleeve
Yeah.
and make sure that your auto ship's in place so you never go without.
Yeah.
And I mean, we get really good response with that.
Yeah. Yeah. We just did a gold like that at the markets, met this, and the woman was all focused on her husband. Oh my gosh, his pain, what was going on. They've been looking at stem cell therapy. It's super expensive. So she was very focused on him. So we had the order form out, silver, gold, or diamond. I just had the order form with me. And then I said, before I go to put in this order, can I just ask about what's going on for you, to the woman? And at that point, that quick conversation shifted to, well, actually, my sleep, my energy, exactly that. And so we moved towards, I said, let me talk to you for a second about the gold, because there's two of you, and what this could look like for you over the next few months. And we literally got the gold. I said, it's also going to go on an auto ship. What will happen with that auto ship is I'm going to add the Eon into that auto ship for you, just because I think in the second month, if we can get some of your inflammation down, it's going to fast track even the healing that you're going to begin to experience. So that's how it happened. And to Stella and Angel's point, it's just a quick conversation around it. So we're nearly at time, but
Can I just add
Keep it
one more on
open.
that? It's just reminding people, especially in the US, $3.30 a day plus $2 for the extra. So here it's $5 a day, which still is less than a coffee. So
Yeah.
I constantly go back to, it's the price of a coffee a day.
Yeah.
Tell me what your health is valued,
Yeah.
how you value your health. So
Yeah.
I'd suggest is just always bring it back to that. And then, you'll know if they're the right people or not.
One last thing then, Cheryl. The other thing I want to keep reminding you to remember, people think auto ship is $299 again or $499 again. So the other thing you really clearly say to them is, all we need to keep your wholesale account active is one of these patches, not even the X39, one that is half this price, keeps your wholesale account active. So that's been my other. They'll say, how much is that then? We'll say around that $49.59. We've got to get it right. And then we have 100% say plus tax over here. Like, that is really shocking people. So we're always saying plus tax straight up, straight away now. And we're just saying it keeps your wholesale account active for when you want more. So that's helped two of our silvers cross over as well to auto ship with no problems. So we haven't had a problem. We just had a problem when we weren't confident. That's when it first started for us. So, and then one or two friends, I literally said to them, could you please put auto ship on? It actually really, it helps with this business just around what that's doing. And I promise you, before your auto ship is going to come out, I will be talking to you. And if you want to shut it off, feel free to shut it off. But what that did is they love me. And I mean that in all the right way. It wasn't going to come out of their account. It was just that they knew this is a business we're trying to build. I said, if auto ship stays on, I just get to rank, but it won't come out of your account. I'll chat to you beforehand. And both those people stayed on it because it wasn't coming out of their account. Practically around this, guys, why they turn off auto ship is because they get, if you've seen what happens, but half of you won't have experienced it because you bought Diamond. When they sign up, they get an email from Lifewave. Then they get a second email with their order. Then they get this third email that comes through and says your auto ship is active. That makes people panic. And that's why they can go in and shut off their auto ship. And it looks like a lot. And I can't change that with Lifewave Corporate. And to Stella's point, people are making a lot of money doing this. So it's not annoying everyone, but it's communication just to tell people this is what's going to come to you as you order.
And that was one of the challenges that we miscommunicated when we first started, was to remind them they're not paying that, like you said, that upfront again.
Yeah.
That's one of the first questions sometimes we have. And I'm like, I didn't communicate that correctly.
Yeah.
It's just this amount every month. So even if you have to do a follow-up email to say, hey, and we also have to remind people of taxes.
And text.
And
a text
and
message saying you're about to get an email.
Yeah, and a text to say you're about to get an email. Please know this is how it works. Blah, blah, blah. Here for you if you need me. So it can just bring the, like, have I made the right decision? I've just invested all this money, all the things that can happen. But for clarity, and you may have just said this, is for gold, they need at least a X39, and they're building a business. They're either building a business or they have a family. So they need to be on auto ship for the benefits. So to me, gold and diamond, no brainer of auto ship, because then all of a sudden they lose all the benefits if they go off auto ship. So I explained that very simply for them. And then silver, again, you upsell with the 2 supporting patches, which I'm not sure about you, but I personally, like, it's a game changer for me. Yeah. So I share out of my own experience of that. And I think, like what Vanessa said, when we first talk to them, depending on who they are, I'll say, do you want increased energy now? Do you want to sleep through the night now? X39 will do that over the long term. But for me, the first month or 2, I just needed like immediate benefit. And 9 times out of 10, people are like, yeah, let me hack this. Give me what extra I need. So the first month or 2, I'm doubling up. And then you're good from there.
The Icewave is like saying, do you need a Panadol? Do you carry a Nurofen or a Tylenol around in your at-home medical kit? If so, why don't you try an Icewave? So there's just a bit of language around supporting. Cheryl, you had a question.
You actually already addressed it. I was going to say, is that encouragement around, hey, we're going to be touching base, but come week 3 prior to that auto ship, we're going to have this conversation. We're going to look at, what you're feeling thus far, what you need. So you already kind of touched on that. So that was helpful.
Yeah. So we'll, what I'll do is I'll put a little video together to show you how you go in, those of you that are building a bit bigger already, and see when your people's auto ship is coming out. Unfortunately, in this business, you don't get a reminder of that as an email, although I have just asked for the recommendation of that. So you do have to go in and check for your people. So just set a date for that conversation. Kat.
Sorry, I'm driving to get my son from youth group. So for the auto ship, is it 30 days or a month, like a calendar month, or like does the actual date matter, that they, like, everybody loses rewards or points? I'm not sure what they're losing yet, but like, what is the actual time frame? Or is it like as soon as they turn it off, then they lost it?
Yeah, no, it's such a great question. And we've just been mapping this out with the team. So when you put the auto ship in, we always recommend putting it in around day 27, or say the 30 days was a Monday, for example. I always say put it in on the Thursday when you're doing it, because you'll learn how to do this manually for people. Because then if their credit card hasn't worked for some reason, it just gives you those few days to say, hey, it declined. We just need to get that CVV again or something, just in case it didn't work. Some people's banks, it will go through at midnight. And so some people actually have one of those authorizations on their bank. And so that just can be a bit tricky. All the time to deliver it. Then what you'll do though, is you'll try around that 27 days to do that. And now here's the good news. This is what Tessa told me once we panicked a little bit for Angel and Stella around some of their silvers that had cancelled an auto ship and they were ranking to manager. You have all month for that auto ship, even if they've turned it off. You still have until the day it was due to go through. So a month from the day they ordered, you have that long to ask them to turn it back on, and you still hold your manager paid rank, for example. So this only matters when you're about 4 and you're kind of a bit on the legs with the silvers and did anyone turn it off. It doesn't in this business downplay you as long as it hasn't gone past the 30 days that silver should have ordered their auto ship. And so you're still paid as manager while that's happening. And again, by then you've supported them for nearly 4 weeks, right up until just before their auto ship's about to go through. Even if they turned it off, you'd be checking in with them. Is there anyone else you want to share this with? This keeps you getting a wholesale price for when you need it. It's that kind of language. So most people get the chance to just ask people to turn it back on or reorder or get them a supporting patch. So that's what happens. Again, last reiteration, for your business, it matters early days. Later, it's more just about a culture that you're teaching all your people to be trained out in, just because everyone is trying to hit manager rank at some point with those auto ships. And if you're building your business on silvers, which you can, but when you build it on silvers, that happens a little bit more because you're building with customers rather than building with other business builders who understand auto ship for their compensation plan. And the last thing I wanted to say is I say to every single person, whether they're a customer or a builder, you may not care about this now. And this is not to put pressure on you, but I'm telling you now, if you are willing to keep your auto ship on and you just like using the X39, the activity that we are doing as a business and the culture of Lifewave is that in this healthy organization, it's top-down servant leadership, which means all the work we're doing has the ability to benefit you, even just to get your product for free or build in the future. If you want to keep auto ship on, see it like keeping your position in a really incredible, fast-growing company that's changing lives all over the world. See it like a share. And I've said that a few times to people that have no interest in building the business. But I said, just trust me at this point, keeping auto ship on will be to your advantage later if you do end up wanting to cover your own costs and get some payback from the company for even just putting your own family on. And I did that today to someone, and she totally upgraded to gold and went, I get it. Like, it's just those, it is, to Stella's point, it's conversations with people, and you can't get out of those conversations. And they're amazing conversations because you actually get to know the people that you're serving. So
Share the benefits.
And share the benefits of both the product and the business as well. So we're about 5 minutes over, but does this help people that are still figuring this out? I'm going to do 2 action steps. I'm going to get some training, that exact one from Stella on those specifics. I'll get the link from her and I'll share that over on our team page on Facebook. And we'll get the supporting patches, little diagram. I think I know there's quite a few of them around. I'll get that one for you as well.
But can I just encourage on that? Have your top 3 that you upsell, because there's 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And so my suggestion is, because there's things that don't, even as a man necessarily, don't as relate to me as much or as to others, is have your top 3, which for me is energy, pain relief, and Aeon, because it's a lot easier for you to recall those and to share out of your own experience to upsell. But if you can know them all brilliantly, fantastic.
But too many confuses people. Exactly. So it's asking the questions and you're doing the recommendations. Don't get them to choose. Yeah. All right. So
hope that helps.
Hope that helps. Give me a thumbs up if that helps some of you. Yeah, you guys are all, and we've all done it. We've all been there. That's the best thing about it. We've all
confidence is everything. When you're confident about it, they'll be confident about it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And
And my last thing I'd say is, and if they're not interested, move on, go to the next, because there are millions of nexts, and you could be stuck with the annoying one that just wants to annoy you. Go to the, I know there's other words, but just don't get stuck with the, please, if you want to build this business and you want to help as many people, keep going next, and then stop and give your best to that person who's interested. If they're interested or curious or excited, they're the 3 people I'm looking for. The uninterested or the critical, I move straight on. And Vanessa, you are too.
Oh, and the best of your friends can be like not where your energy is going to lie in this business, or family.
God bless them.
And you think you want them and you think they're going to be your first purchasers, and they're not. And if they are, then they're offended at the auto ship. So we know this, we understand this, right? So they're not, but guess what? In 3 months' time, they'll be coming back to you. Yes, there's a cheat sheet too, a summary. So we'll put all of that together into Facebook for you. So, but honestly, friends, just anytime it feels like the relational equity, it's just negative there, keep the relationship and move away from the sale, because it's not worth it at all. And we know you guys know that too. So yeah, well, you're amazing. We're going to stay on. We're actually catching up with Angel and Stella after this, but we'll do 5 more minutes just for anyone else that really wanted to just get one more thought across. We'll finish at 12:45 at the 45 mark. So other than that, unmute yourselves, do a quick goodbye, whatever you need to do. And
or any more questions?
Any more questions? We're here for a few more minutes.
Vanessa, I had asked this in the chat, but
Yeah.
do you guys have, you said it out loud, Andrew, but do you have just a quick text to send the people that shares, you're going to get a few emails, you're on an auto ship, just a reminder, and that means that next month we're looking at the investment of blank so that they don't freak out.
Yeah, it's great still. So what that is whatever I've auto shipped them based on either the conversation or just an instinct to do it. Yes, it's a quick text, I'll find it, but basically it's whatever I auto shipped. And the other thing I do if it doesn't feel too time heavy for people, and I'll put this in a Google document, I send them David talking about what I've ordered for auto ship. That's the latest thing I've been doing for them. So David talks about the Eon, talks about this, talks about that. So in my welcome email, actually, I think most of you have seen how I welcome someone into the just a Lifewave. It's always a personal email to people, and from YouTube, Lifewave Health YouTube channel, it's David discussing each of the patches and their advantages. And so again, if they've looked at YouTube, then it makes them more confident for what's coming next. So I'll show you the Google sheet. I'll send that, and I'll send the text message to you all and just show you what we just forward on to people after their order.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's okay. Do it via the app. Sorry, my latest this last week, because I'm only really getting active on the app. I send that about via the app, that little video via the app. So I've just caught their details in my app.
And for quick clarity, in case I didn't say it, we won't talk about the supporting patches till they're over the line with X39. That's predominantly what we'll do. And then we'll talk about the supporting patches, especially as a silver or any of them, because I want the extras. So it doesn't confuse them, because if they're not sold on X39, they're not going to be sold on the supporting patches.
Yeah.
So just to encourage you, always stick to X39. Then once they're in, then you can upsell at that point, would be our suggestion.
Right at the order moment. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is why getting orders handwritten is okay, but the phone call or the quick video, the 10-15 minute Zoom is also where the connection happens. Yeah. Okay. And if you feel just customers, the other thing is, and you don't feel like this person even is going to be silver, don't like, don't ignore that bronze is there. And because bronze is still my strategy, that next month most people upgrade to a silver. If you've got the energy trying to convince them on $299 up front, I prefer to go back to just bronze and then upgrade them next month.
But could you give clarity? You rarely do that.
Yeah.
And it's really for someone who's financially really
Yeah.
struggling that we want to help
Yeah.
as best way we can. But that's like 1%,
Yeah.
maybe 5%
Yeah.
tops.
It's an energy saver though, in terms of too much time convincing. If I just feel it, I'll just go straight back to bronze.
Yeah, that's minimal what we do.
Okay. Well,
Thank you.
Guys,
uh,
see you.
Thanks, everyone.